It all started with a mistake, a wrong turn, a wrong floor, and one wrong room. But sometimes life's most powerful stories begin with accidents. Before we dive in, if you believe kindness can change lives in unexpected ways, make sure you like this video and subscribe, because what you're about to hear will remind you that hearts, not money, define true worth. The elevator doors slid open on the 12th floor of the Grand Majestic Hotel. Lucas Reed stepped out, carrying his little daughter's favorite pink backpack over one shoulder. He wasn't supposed to be there. He was just a single dad, a construction worker who had been invited by mistake to an elite charity gala. The invitation had been sent to L. Reed, and apparently there was another L. Reed, a billionaire heiress named Lydia Reed. Lucas figured it out the moment he stepped into the golden ballroom filled with glittering chandeliers, champagne glasses, and people dressed like royalty. He stood awkwardly near the entrance, in his worn-out suit, holding a small teddy bear in one hand. His daughter Emma tugged at his sleeve. "Daddy, are we lost?" she whispered. Lucas smiled gently. "Maybe a little, sweetheart. Let's just ask someone." Before he could, a woman's voice cut through the soft music. "Excuse me, who let him in here?" Heads turned. Lydia Reed, the billionaire heiress herself, stood by the grand staircase, her diamond necklace catching the light. Her dress shimmered like silver water, her confidence as sharp as her tone. Lucas turned to face her, his jaw tightening. "Sorry, ma'am. I think there's been a mistake." Lydia gave him a slow, amused look. "Oh, I can see that. The staff entrance is downstairs. This is a charity event, not a daycare." She pointed at Emma, who hid behind her father's leg. Laughter rippled through the guests. Lucas's face flushed, but he kept his voice calm. "We'll leave. I didn't mean to cause trouble." As he turned to go, Emma's little voice piped up again. "Daddy, I'm hungry." Something about the tiny voice softened a few hearts in the room. But not Lydia's. "You're lucky security hasn't escorted you out already," she said, folding her arms. That was when Lucas knelt to zip Emma's jacket. As he did, his sleeve lifted, and Lydia froze. On his forearm, just beneath a faded burn scar, was a tattoo. Not just any tattoo, it was a small design barely the size of a coin. A blue forget-me-not flower wrapped around a gold initial R. Lydia's eyes widened, her breath catching. That tattoo, she knew it. Years ago, her father had told her about the man who saved him from the fire at the Reed Steel factory. The man who had gone back inside when the building was collapsing, risking everything to pull her father out. Her father never forgot that man's name, Lucas Reed. The same one now standing in front of her, being mocked for not belonging. Her throat went dry. "Wet," she said softly, stepping forward. "Your name, Lucas Reed?" He nodded cautiously. "Yeah, why?" Lydia's voice trembled. "You saved my father's life." The entire room fell silent. The air grew heavy. Lucas frowned, unsure how to respond. "That can't be," one guest whispered. But Lydia wasn't listening to anyone else. Her eyes had glassed over, memories flooding back of her father's burned hands, the hospital room, and the story of a brave man who vanished afterward, never asking for reward. Lucas looked down, embarrassed. "That was a long time ago. I was just doing my job." Tears welled in Lydia's eyes as she shook her head. "You didn't just do your job. You saved everything I love. You saved him." Emma tugged on her dad's arm again, confused. "Daddy, why is the lady crying?" Lucas smiled faintly. "Because sometimes people remember good things, sweetheart." The guests shifted uncomfortably. Some looked ashamed for laughing. Lydia stepped closer, her voice trembling now. "I am so sorry for how I spoke to you. Please don't leave." Lucas hesitated. His instinct told him to walk out, to protect Emma from this cold world of glittering smiles and empty hearts. But something in Lydia's eyes stopped him. Real remorse, raw and unguarded. She took a deep breath. "Please stay for dinner, as my guest." He started to refuse, but Emma's hopeful eyes caught his. "Can we, Daddy? I'm really hungry." He sighed and nodded. "All right." That night, the mood in the ballroom changed. Lydia made sure Lucas and Emma had the best seats, right beside her. When the waiters brought food, she personally served Emma a slice of chocolate cake, laughing softly as the little girl smeared frosting on her nose. As the night went on, people came to speak with Lucas, curious and respectful. They learned about his struggles, how his wife had passed away 3 years ago, how he worked double shifts just to keep Emma in school, how he had once dreamed of opening his own repair business but never had the funds. Lydia listened quietly. guilt and admiration mixing in her heart. She couldn't believe how much strength lived behind those tired eyes. When the evening ended, she walked them to the exit. "Miss Stritt, read," she said softly. "I can't change the past, but I want to help with your future." Lucas shook his head. "I'm not looking for charity." "It's not charity," she insisted. "It's gratitude." He hesitated, then smiled faintly. "If you really want to thank me, make sure no one else in that room ever feels like I did tonight." Her eyes widened again and she nodded slowly. "You have my word." Weeks passed. Lydia couldn't get that night out of her mind. She began visiting Lucas's construction site, sometimes bringing Emma little gifts or lunches. What started as guilt turned into friendship and something more. One afternoon, as the sun painted the city gold, Lydia stood in front of a half-renovated workshop. The sign above read, "Reed Repairs and Restoration." She turned to Lucas. "It's officially yours," she said. "A business loan, no interest. Just faith." Lucas's eyes softened. "You didn't have to." "I wanted to," she interrupted. "You showed me what real strength looks like." From then on, their lives intertwined in quiet, beautiful ways. Lucas's business flourished, Emma adored Lydia, and for the first time in years, laughter filled their home. But it wasn't all easy. The media found out, calling him the worker who won the Heiress's heart. People whispered that he wasn't good enough for her. One day, after reading a cruel headline, Lucas confronted Lydia. "I don't want you to lose your reputation over me," he said. She looked him straight in the eye. "Lucas, the only thing I'd lose by walking away from you is my heart, and that's not a price I'm willing to pay." Her words silenced every doubt he had. Two years later, their wedding took place in the same grand, majestic hotel, the place where they first met, only this time it was different. Lucas stood tall in a black suit, his tattoo peeking just slightly from his sleeve. Emma, older now, tossed flower petals as Lydia walked down the aisle in a simple gown. As they exchanged vows, Lydia whispered, "That night I mocked you, but you taught me what grace really means." Lucas smiled. "And you showed me that even wrong rooms can lead to the right hearts." When you look at them today, you'd never guess how it all began. With a mistake, a misunderstanding, and a man who refused to let pride win over kindness. Because in the end, life doesn't measure you by your wealth or your clothes. It measures you by the warmth you give to others, even when they don't deserve it yet. So if you believe in second chances, in kindness, in the power of love that rises above pride, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Because somewhere out there, someone else's wrong room might just be the start of a right forever.